Well, good morning. Another update video for the Westabout Round the World campaign. We're getting things together here. I'm down on the dock in beautiful Nova Scotia. A bit of a storm last night, really calm and quiet today. And then on the end of the dock, dun, 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 I'm very lucky that where I live we have a deep water anchorage, and it's right in front of the bay here. So the boat is still on its mooring technically, but I just ease it back by a set amount, 20 feet. Connect a line onto the dock, and then I can actually back this 4.5 meter, 15-foot draft boat right up to the end of the dock. So you see what I've been doing? I've finally discovered what that little door on the back's for. Obviously it's an escape hatch in the event of the boat being turned upside down. But look, it's perfect. I was able to just go inside. Now all this stuff that's here, any racers will be thinking, Jesus, what's he got? But if you look back in the videos, the Mariner videos from 2018, when the boat was brought across from France, there was a whole 40-foot container full of stuff, and that had to be brought back across the Atlantic as well. If I was going to import what would probably ended up being a 20-foot containers worth of stuff with all of these things on, that would be incoming things and duty to be paid on it. But when it's inside the boat, it's part of the boat's materials and spares, so it comes into the country. So these are boxes and boxes of spares from the container. A lot of it's already come off, but yeah, very easy. It was all sitting inside the back of the boat, and just pull it out through here. So then I have this gangplank, which was given to me by my friends John and Phyllis. Thank you very much. The boat's just tied off with a couple of loops around, and then over here, and then we can go up on the deck. So she's a bit messy right now. My instinct is that it has to be perfect when I do these videos, but that's not what's going on. We're trying to fix the thing up. So jobs are ongoing at the moment. We've completely recorked the windows back in, and that's been it's been a job that's been meant to be done for so long. Just keep putting up with it, drip inside the boat. So finally pushed the windows out, took them and polished them up, which was interesting. I'd never done that before, not as a focused task with a lot of windows. Polishing acrylic and starting with like 320 grit, 600 grit, 1000 grit, 1500, 2000, 2500, and then rubbing compound, then polishing compound and getting them back. So they're not perfect, but they're pretty good. But they're 11 mil Lexan, which is virtually bulletproof, and it's shaped to the boat. You see it's got some bolts in at the moment. They're just there to press it down and make a good gasket. They're going to come out, and then those holes will be filled, so then it's a nice smooth. I think the dagger boards are out at the moment. They're normally sitting in the slots here, one on either side. They're 10 foot below the boat. Once they're pushed down and into the water, there's only 4 foot of them stays inside the boat, inside this slot, and the other 10 foot is outside the boat, so huge amounts of grip. We've got the forepeak here. I'm going to go in there. There's also a lot of equipment sitting inside there, but mostly sails. So this boat has a bulkhead here on the deck, just forward of the mast, and another one just after the mast, and that's the electronic space. And then the cabin goes back to another bulkhead, which is pretty much where those jammers are on the deck. And then it goes back to another section, which is pretty much in line with the back of the cockpit, and then that's the aft. So 1, 2 watertight bulkheads, 3 watertight bulkheads, and then going forward there's another one here, 4 watertight, 5 watertight, 6 watertight bulkheads as we go forward on the boat. So incredibly safe, but like a caving system. It's more like spelunking or caving to go inside and see what's going on. So we've still got to replace the rope. That's not that big a deal. That's something we can probably get a little bit of help with from a rope company. Drop the price and we can replace the rope. That's very easy. And then the thing that we're looking to do, the big one, is to replace this rigging. So we just started a GoFundMe page. People were asking how can they help. Patreon is a great way of helping. If you go to Patreon, Patreon, /The Mariner, and that's all my stuff there, blogs, the podcast, the videos, the training videos, the seamanship training videos, and then $5-20, something like that, you can get involved and be a part of what's happening here. If you go up into the $100 range, you actually get your name on the side of the boat, which is pretty cool. Quite a lot of people have done that. But this rigging, it's 60,000 euros, and that's the problem. It's a 100-foot high mast, and then the material of the rigging, it's you could put rod rigging on, you could put metal rigging on made from nitronic. I think it's nitronic 50, is it? the stuff for the nuts is Nitronic 60. Well, anyway, you could put it on, but it would add 190 kilos aloft to the weight of the boat, and that would be on the end of a huge lever arm, which is the mast, and that would be leaning the boat over, which kind of pulls away from her upwind, and we're going upwind around the world, upwind ability. So this stuff, all of it, once it's up there, it only weighs about 40 kilos, a bit less in fact with all its terminals, but it's very, very light. So that has to be replaced. And then the mainsail, obviously, the mainsail is 190 square meter, 1600 square foot sail. We have to replace that, and that's again about the same price. So we've got those two large things that we're working on. But inside the boat, tidying up now and finishing up bits of painting. Let's have a look inside the cabin, the decks. Today, the job I'm doing now is to actually come down and clean the boat, because we've actually had very, very little rain here in Nova Scotia in the last couple of weeks, and the well which serves this dock is quite low, so I didn't do anything with water for the last couple of weeks. So she's a very messy inside here. We've been working, but the cabin's coming together. Everything's clean and tidy now. I just put this filler on the other day. There's lots of like little holes through there where things have been mounted in the past, and little old mounting feet that have been prized off, and so just a bit of filler, and then we'll be putting the final coat of paint on that. And then here you can see these very long bolts which are put in just to hold the windows in place. Once they are once the seal's sealed, which it now is, we can just pull those out and then we fill them up, and then it's nice and smooth, get the tape off and we can see. But yeah, it was a devil's own job trying to paint this, because basically it was double pack paint, 2-pack paint, epoxy paint on the bottom, then with single pack polyurethane paint over the top of it. Probably done 2006 when the boat was bought ahead of going to the Velux race, and then it's had like 14 years slowly degrading, so it would not just sand off easily without huge amounts of labor, but equally it needed to all come off, and it was super flaky, so you couldn't get it off in strips. You could only sand it a little bit. In the end I ended up jet washing a lot of it off, which was spectacularly messy, as you imagine. It looked like it'd been inside a snow globe that had been shaken. I was just covered in these bits of paint when we did that. But we've got we're going to get a new cover for the seat here, but that's been cleaned up, and everything down here has been done. So the only bit really to do in here is I want to go over the engine and clean and tidy up the engine and maybe repaint it a little bit. The electronic space now, we won't do a full tour today, but the electronic space just in there and around behind this cabinet, that again is an area we're going to quickly paint through. But basically now we're at the bit where we're putting the bunks back in. They've all been cleaned, and new pulley systems, new string, and then I'm going to be bringing the equipment down and putting the equipment back in here, and it goes back to being a fully operational boat ready to go to sea. But if we want to be safe and have the performance we need, then we need the mainsail and the rigging, and replace the rope if we can. But everything else ready to go. So yeah, and then the question for me at the moment is about this Fleet 77 dome that's on the back. If anybody knows anything about ship-based, marine-based telecommunications, I'd be very interested. It's a Fleet 77. I believe that system is being retired at the end of this year. Now, I don't know if that means the equipment is retired or if the equipment connects to a different satellite network. It's heavy and big. It is actually a very good unit. It can do live streaming, video and all that kind of stuff. These days that could be replaced with something that's like about the size of a soccer ball. But it needs must. We don't have huge amounts of money. To get a new system is going to be not tens, but a $10,000 piece of investment, which if it works, then why fix it, right? So yeah, I'm hoping that basically maybe in the next 2 days the cabin will be completely done, and then start going through the winches. Now the winches are kind of a little bit disassembled. I had two little components in here which were like seized together, so I took to the local engineering shop and they were able to drill out the screw, retap everything, so they're going to go back in. Then all the winches are serviced, and Daniel Dagenet-Gore, who helped me with a lot of this early on, he serviced all these winches and cleaned all up, so thank you, Daniel, they look brilliant. And then grinding systems done. Electronic system worked fine on the way over to Canada. It needs to be completely gone through, but there'll be a few more components. These ones, this TL25, I believe you can actually just get like new covers for them and kind of give them a bit of a an update. And then I've been interested to receive a communication from Sailmon, sailmon.com, SAILMON.com. They do some incredible displays which will connect to this Wikipedia. I got an K in it and I thought it was Wikipedia. The NKE system that's in this boat. I had a look up online, maybe through Wikipedia, and found that Sailmon do these displays, which are one of the ones they do is called their ink system, and it actually is a display which is based on the technology of an e-reader or a Kindle. So it's like very, very low draw. It's got this nice white and black display. So I'm fancying getting one of those inside and out, and there might even be an opportunity for them to sponsor me that to help out with the costs. So yeah, then little things like, I want to take the branding off the dome here and then repaint where this nasty top coat basically has eroded. Then we kind of got a boat, so yeah. there's another week of like aesthetic stuff, and then it's into the hard things. We've got 46 days to go now until I want to be leaving. So with a month to go, the hull will be all done. And then it's that month of, can we get the money for the mainsail? Can we get the money for the rigging? So if you want to help out in any way, patreon.com/The Mariner, or if you go and have a look at GoFundMe, and it's Pride of Nova Scotia at GoFundMe. And if there's any way that you can help out, coins in the jar are helping here. The coins are coming together. We're able to get bigger and bigger things, and as you talk to people and share it, companies are getting interested, and individuals who can help out with these larger units. So anything you can do to help, send me ideas. People have been doing that. Thank you very much. I've been activating some of those ideas and connecting with people for sponsorships. So that's awesome. But yeah, little update. And now I'm going to go to the bow and I'm going to pull the rest of the stuff out of there that's not meant to be on the boat. Basically what I want to do is get everything off the boat, every single thing off the boat, and then I'll put it in boxes and weigh it all. And then when I go to sea, I'll know exactly what the boat weighs, and I'll know where that weight's distributed. She weighs 9 tons with no sails on board, no fuel on board, no water on board, just her gear, her mast, her boom. So 9,000 kilos there. Anything I put on board has to be limited as much as possible. So yeah, get going with this. What a fantastic place to be doing it. The day's just starting to come on, the fog's burning off, so I'll get to work. Speak to you in the next one. Cheers.